red hot. Last night lasting 4 home runs, which was more than enough for lefty David Price to hurl his second career shutout. Tonight, reigning Rookie of the Year, Jeremy Hellickson faces an old nemesis as lefty C.J. Wilson gets the ball for the Angels. Rays baseball starts now on Sun Sports. Welcome to Tropicana Field, where tonight this homestand continues. The Rays winners last night. They've gone 3-1 on this homestand. Tonight, the middle game of the series between the Rays and the Los Angeles Angels. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to an evening of Rays baseball. With Ron Anderson, I'm Dwayne Statz. Great to have you aboard. Todd Callis along in just a few moments. Well, this spring, a lot of talk about great pitching and great defense. The Rays might have been concerned about their offense, but the last week now, twice, they have hit as many as 4 home runs in a single game, including last night.
Well, yeah, and if you look at what they've done over the course of the early part of this season, through 17 games, the Rays now have 23 home runs compared to what they did last year. You know, they talked about in this offseason they wanted to bring some pop back into the middle of that lineup. They bring in Carlos Pena, Luke Scott. Both of those guys have 4 home runs. They have 3 guys or 5 guys on this team right now that have 3 home runs or more. So they're getting it all up and down the lineup. And really, when you look at it, the power surge in the early part of this season is a direct byproduct of a good approach at the plate and taking advantage of pitchers' mistakes.
Last Wednesday in Toronto in a 12-2 win, they had 4 home runs at the start of this homestand. They got B.J. Upton back. He was part of the 4 home run barrage here last night. Pitching matchup and another dandy brought to you by your Southern Ford dealer, C.J. Wilson. We remember him in a Texas Ranger uniform and how tough he was against the Rays. Jeremy Hellickson, Rookie of the Year last year and a 13-game winner, looks for victory number 3 tonight. The Rays and the Angels. Carlos Pena making his presence felt once again in a Rays uniform, and Todd Callis has more on that when we return.
up before this game, Game 5 of the 6-game homestand. Rays are 6-1 on the home season so far at Tropicana Field. And Carlos was one of the 4 Rays who hit a solo home run in last night's game. It started with Desmond Jennings, and it wrapped up with the Rays' first baseman. In fact, when Carlos hit that home run, not only did it give the Rays a 4-0 lead, but it was a historic hit for number 23. Career hit number 1,000 right here, fittingly in a Rays uniform where almost half of his hits in his career have come. And also fittingly, a home run for number 1,000. His 262 of his 1,000 hits have been home runs. There you see, of his 262, 148 of those are with the Rays. Nobody else in Tampa Bay history has hit more. A Rays All-Star in 09, 12 years with the following 5 teams you see there. And we asked Carlos prior to tonight's game about what, actually after last night's game, what it meant to him to reach that plateau.
Definitely very special. It took me a while to get there. And I dreamt about getting 1 hit in the big leagues. I think I've said this before, and for me to, get 1, 2, 1,000, it's truly a blessing. So I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to actually do this. There's nothing I can say except that I am just extremely happy and grateful.
Always humble, always gracious, and there's James Shields. He's mic'd up tonight. He wears his sunglasses at night. So does Tom Foley. We're going to hear from James Shields throughout the course of the game. We're also on a website Wednesday going to let you ask Dwayne or BA whatever you like. 2 different ways you can do it. Email them at AskTheRays@Fox.com or tweet at SunSportsRays, hashtag AskTheRays. Boys, you ready?
Oh, we're ready.
They are ready. Look at that. They have monitors, pins. They're ready to roll. So are we. Baseball around the corner. Angels and Rays in 2 minutes and 32 seconds right now as Jeremy Hellickson will be on the mound for Tampa Bay. C.J. Wilson with his first start against Tampa Bay as a member of the Angels. Enjoy all the action, everybody, right here on SunSports.
The Rays dugout into the Shields dance studio, apparently, and the Rays right-hander will be mic'd up.
Let's go. Let's get to work.
We'll be hearing from James Shields throughout the evening. Let's take a look at the lineup for the Los Angeles Angels. Bobby Abreu, the veteran outfielders, getting a start to lead off in left. Howie Kendrick next, and then Albert Pujols. Kendry Morales in the lineup tonight as the DH. Torrey Hunter's in right. Vernon Wells in center. Monsieur Sturis is the third. Eric Ibar out of the ace spot. He is the shortstop. And Chris Iannetta, the catcher, will bat ninth.
Making the start tonight for the Tampa Bay Rays. It'll be his fourth. Right-hander Jeremy Hellickson. Perfect 2-0 record. ERA 3.26. Like to see that number right here come down. The 10 walks. The opponent's average, very good. He's coming off a win in his last outing against the Toronto Blue Jays. Pitched into the 6th inning, 2 earned runs. Picking up that second victory. Let's take a look at the Rays defense as it lines up behind Jeremy Hellickson. In the outfield, left to right. Desmond Jennings, B.J. Upton, and Ben Zobrist across the infield, third to first. Evan Longoria, Sean Rodriguez, Jeff Keppinger, and Carlos Pena. Chris Jimenez will be behind the plate.
Well, we've seen the lineups, we've seen the defensive setup, and now we're all set to play ball. Bobby Abreu, who starts the night hitting 200, steps in there against Jeremy Hellickson. Hellickson, one decision lifetime against the Angels, and he lost that one. First pitch, and Abreu takes a look, and that's a strike. First pitch presented by Pinch a Penny. So we're underway. 72 comfortable degrees here. The 0-1 from Hellickson. This one is down. 1 ball and 1 strike. Abreu relegated to really looking for playing time in this outfield. It's become a little crowded. It's a strike at the knees, and it's 1-2. Abreu turned 38 years old in March. He is 2 out of 3 with a home run off Hellickson. Hellickson's made 2 appearances, 1 start against the Angels. Abreu still with a 1-2 count. He gave up that home run, Hellickson did, on the 6th of April last year in a 5-1 loss to the Angels. And it's a little wide. Curveball. So the count goes to 2-2. Rays start the night 10-7. The Angels are 6-11. And that pitch is very close right there. 3-2.
That was the same pitch as strike 2. I mean, that was the same pitch as strike 2. And the ball certainly has plenty of plate. I'll bet that side view shows him hit across the knees.
Fly ball back into straightaway center. Upton's got a ways to go, and it's going to be off the wall. Abreu heads to second, and he's in there sliding with the double. Well, a 3-2 fastball, and Abreu hit it right back down the middle into center off the wall.
Now that fastball was elevated up and out over the plate. He's trying to go away, and that ball just splits thigh high, and Bobby Abreu puts a good swing on it, almost gets it out of here to dead center field.
Now it's Howie Kendrick. Kendrick, a rare night last night against the Rays. Maybe it's just an indication of how good David Price was. That's a strike as he shortened on the bat, because Kendrick came into the game last night hitting .418 lifetime against the Rays, but against David Price, he was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. the 0-1. 2 strikes.
Good changeup there by Jeremy Hellickson, and referencing David Price's start last night. That's what comes together, and that's what kind of outing when you get when you take a guy that has plus stuff, that has tremendous command, and has all of his pitches working, and able to throw for strikes on one given night. That's the kind of line you come up with. Superb.
A ball and 2 strikes. He was fun to watch last night as he put it all together. He started the night throwing strikes, finished walking just 1 man, and giving up 5 hits, no runs. Kendrick is out on strikes. That changeup got him. 1 away.
Jeremy Hellickson coming here with a changeup. This ball just kind of sinks and floats under the bat of Howie Kendrick. Swings right over top of it. Good finish on that pitch. Big out there without allowing Kendrick to move Abreu up or drive him in.
Albert Pujols. And the first pitch to Pujols is a strike. Albert at 232. And the Rays held them hitless last night. No home runs and 4 runs batted in for the year. Ground ball foul outside of third. And the count is 0-2.
And I'll bet you that's what Albert Pujols would say, and what he's thinking right now is when you are in a little bit of a slide, not swinging the bat well, you walk up to the plate and it's an 0-2 count.
See, he's got an 0 for 16 going. It's wide. Mike Scioscia, the Angels manager, allowing after the game that, sure, he thinks Pujols is feeling a little frustration trying to get this thing going, and he thinks he's pretty close. A ball, 2 strikes. I thought you could see in a couple of at-bats and in the aftermath of a couple of those at-bats, you could see that written on his face, the frustration.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's coming off the hitless series against the Orioles.
And a tap foul holds the count at 1-2.
You know, he came up, line drive, right to the shortstop position last night. And yeah, I definitely think that plays into it. You know, you've got a huge contract, big expectations, going to be the difference maker, put this team over the top, take the division back from the Texas Rangers. Human being.
And a swing and a foul ball. He got just a little piece of it to stay alive.
Yeah, and that's where teams have been pounding Albert Pujols, is in. This is something that they started to be exploited a little bit last year. And you watch this swing. I mean, that's an awkward swing right there. 2 strikes, obviously trying to protect. But boy, oh boy, you don't see Albert Pujols take swings like that very often.
You know, and as disciplined as he can be, when he's good, he'll hit balls out of the strike zone, out for home runs.
Oh, yeah.
But you're right, that's an area last year that some pitchers in the National League started to discover that they could work that way against him. But this guy's had such great, not only plate coverage, but off the plate coverage. That's what's made him so dominating as a hitter. Ground ball deep short. Rodriguez with a long throw, and it's there in time. 2 gone.
Well, I don't think that at bat right there is a good example. Jeremy Hellickson is not throwing 97 miles an hour, and he made absolutely no bones that he was going to continue to come in. And even here, this ball jams him. He hits it right off the label.
And that's a fastball at 91.
91. Look at that. Right off the label. There's nothing on that ground ball to shortstop. And it wasn't like he surprised him in there. He was pounding him in there.
So 2 outs with Abreu still at second. Kendry Morales will be the hitter. He's the DH tonight. Morales, who missed all of last year with a broken ankle, had to go in and have a second surgery. And he takes the pitch soft and low. 1 ball and no strikes with an opening changeup. See Morales' breakdown much more effective from the left side in the early part of this year. Ground ball right side against the shift, and Keppinger from short right takes care of that. No runs, leadoff double, and Abreu is left on base. Jennings, Zobrist, and Pena wait to hit. Toyota vehicles. Toyota moving forward by AT TBA, the nation's largest 4G network. AT TBA, rethink possible. By Tires Plus. The plus is in everything we do. And by Checkers. Feast on. The Rays coming in to hit in the bottom half of the first inning. No score. Let's take a look at the Rays lineup. Brought to you by Lexus. Desmond Jennings leads off, followed by Ben Zobrist and then Carlos Pena. Evan Longoria, Jeff Keppinger, and B.J. Upton, 4, 5, and 6. Luke Scott, the DH. Sean Rodriguez and Chris Jimenez, 8 and 9.
Taking the mound tonight for the Los Angeles Angels, it's left-hander C.J. Wilson. You see his season numbers there, very impressive throughout. His numbers here at Tropicana Field, very impressive. 3 career starts, 2-0. 1.23 earned run average in this building.
Well, a couple years into his career as a starting pitcher, and boy, have they been great seasons for him. A 16-game winner last year. And here's Desmond. The pitch is outside, 1 ball and no strikes. It's upstairs, 2-0.
And speaking of, here's our Coventry Healthcare scouting report, Dwayne. You talked about going to a starter. Smooth transition. You know, a couple of years ago, 74 games coming out of the bullpen, 14 saves, becomes a full-time starter in 2010. He's 33 and 16 with a 3.11 earned run average since.
And he falls behind Jennings 3-0.
And the other part of that scouting report, playoffs in April. What does that mean? Well, last September, C.J. Wilson shut this Ray team out. 9 shutout innings, 5 hits. In the playoffs, they were able to bang him up pretty good. That's the one you go back to.
And there is ball 4. He opens by walking Jennings.
Let's take a look at the Angel defense as it lines up tonight. In the outfield, left to right, Bobby Abreu, Vernon Wells, and Torrey Hunter. Across the infield, third to first, Maicer Izturis, Eric Ibar, Howie Kendrick, and Albert Pujols. Chris Iannetta once again behind the plate.
Well, the Rays got him for 3 home runs, 8 runs, 6 earned in 5 innings in the postseason. Now Ben Zobrist. Pitch misses, 1-0. The one thing Wilson has done, well, he's done a lot of things as a starting pitcher to be successful, but he has thrown a ton of ground balls.
Well, he gets that cutter. That cutter gets working. He gets the fastball away from the righties that moves well. The cutter coming in jams a lot of guys for some weak ground balls.
Finds the strike zone there, and the count is 1-1.
You talk to the Rays hitters, and they talk about all of his pitches that he uses to attack hitters, but how he works them in unison and how effective they are. He just has a good feel for pitching, how to add and subtract.
Liner into center field. That is out number 1. A line drive to center. Caught by Vernon Wells. Well, here's a flashback to game 1 of the division series. Johnny Damon got him. That was early in the second inning. And then Kelly Shopik hit the first of 2. He drove that one out to center field. And in the 5th inning, caught a curveball and hit it out. It's the line giving up those 3 home runs and 6 earned runs, 8 total in 5 innings. The Rays won that game 9-0. Matt Moore made the start. Here's Carlos Pena, and the pitch is a strike. Going up and down the lineup, though. You saw Damon and Shopik had great days there in that division series game. But there are a number of Rays hitters in this lineup who had trouble with them. Pena has only 5 at-bats. He's 0 for 5, but Upton's 0 for 17. Zobrist is now 4 for 20 off him. Longoria is just 3 for 20. And Jennings, who walked, is 0 for 10. That's the 4th walk he's drawn against him. So it figures to be a challenging night with Wilson out there, but you never know. Swing and a miss. Pena out on the fastball.
C.J. Wilson coming here. 92-mile-per-hour fastball, gets that ball up and moving in towards Carlos Pena. Just not able to catch up on it. Carlos has that swing where he likes to catch the ball on an uppercut to drive it. When you go that high in the strike zone or out of it, real tough to catch up to.
Now a move to first, and Jennings is back in.
This may be one area that you can exploit against C.J. Wilson. For a lefty, you see Desmond 3 for 4 on the season. Gave up 24 stolen bases last year, 21 in 2010. That's a high number for a left-handed starter.
Down and in. A ball and no strikes. That's that slider that bites down and in to the right-handed hitter.
And that's the thing. That's the other thing about C.J. Wilson. The kitchen sink he's going to throw at you. He'll throw you the fastball, the cut fastball, the slider. He's got curveball. Also the changeup. You got to be prepared.
There goes the runner. Good jump. And a steal No problem for Jennings, picking up his 4th stolen base in 5 attempts this year.
Well, here it is. C.J. Wilson, very deliberate to the plate. That made it a very easy steal there for Desmond Jennings. Got to try to get every advantage you can against a pitcher like C.J. Wilson, especially when he's hamstrung your team like he has over his career. Joe Madden will pull out all the stops tonight.
Well, they're down 2-0 to Evan, and now they're going to walk him intentionally. You know, Jeff Keppinger is hitting behind Longoria, so Evan gets the intentional walk. And Keppinger, given his time with Houston and that interleague play, the series between Houston and Texas, he's logged a few at-bats against Wilson. He's 4 for 13 with a walk off him. So it's 1st and 2nd with 2 gone here in the bottom of the 1st. Takes a strike around the knees. Fastball to start Keppinger. And another pitch. That's a dandy right there. 0-2.
Yeah, right at the knees. A changeup down and away. Handle. Watch this. Ball stays right out there. It's a good pitch.
And a little pop up down to 3rd as Turris makes the catch, so he cut that ball in on his fist. Rays lead 2. On to the 2nd. No score.
Today, buddy. Oh, I didn't tell you? I told everyone else but you.
Hey, bro.
But you can drop bro all day.
Hey, bro, let me tell you this.
Put it back on.
Leave him on, bro.
Keep throwing 9, this is what you get.
Hey, boy! Hey, boy, bro! Hey, baby, bro!
Good job, bro!
Well, there you go. Huh? There you are.
Need the shades back on.
Yeah, there's a certain presence that they afford. Torrey Hunter takes a pitch inside.
That tells you a lot about James Shields' future. Right there. So bright. Needs to wear shades indoors at night.
Yeah.
White on white look good.
Did you ever have a chance to be mic'd up when you were in uniform?
Yes, I did.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
A strike to Hunter, 1-1.
It was a good time.
A lot of editing time, right?
Hey, yeah. Let's just say that they put me on live at one point during a furious rally, and took me off right away.
That would be the most exciting time. Ground ball up the middle, and that's going to go through. A base hit here, and Hunter is aboard. Hey, let's check in with Todd Callis.
Dwayne, 2 ways you can ask questions tonight on Website Wednesday. You can either email at AskTheRays@Fox.com, or on Twitter, go to @SunSportsRays and hashtag AskTheRays. Our first question comes from Mark, and he needs a little bit of help. He said he and his wife are having a little bit of a discussion because at 8 o'clock, she wants to watch American Idol. He said to her, we're staying with the Rays game, but he also said, guys, I could use your help to convince her.
Oh, well, that's easy.
Yeah.
They had 2 contestants from Tampa Bay. They're no longer on there, through no fault of their own, we might add. They were very good. They knocked them off for bigger markets. So out of loyalty to Tampa Bay, you got to stay with this game.
Well,
the talent's gone.
And this talent is here.
Yeah.
The next 3 hours.
And it's live, in color, high definition. So out of loyalty to the home team.
And you know what? And I'll tell you something else. Go ahead and get the blanket and the pillow and throw it on the couch. Just put it there. That's where you're going.
Yep, there you are. So I hope we've settled that. Family counselors as well. Vernon Wells swings and misses. It's the breaking ball. This might have been the change. Yeah, it was. The count is 1-1. Hellickson gave up that double in the first inning, but pitched right out of that.
Well, and you pregame show, you saw some tape, Joe Madden and David Price talking about what makes Jeremy Hellickson special, and they said he's able to slow the game down. And you look at what he did. Abreu with the double, gets out Kendrick, Pujols, Morales, but it's been nothing new. It's exactly what he's done all year long. Runner at second base, runners in scoring position. Teams are now 1 for 17 off of Jeremy Hellickson.
Liner into left. That's going to fall for a base hit. Jennings had an idea and then decided he's going to have to play it on one hop. So a couple of base hits to open the second inning. Boy, that's a trait in a veteran pitcher. But for a young guy, Hellickson to come up as a rookie last year, and we saw a little bit the year before when he was up. You really marvel at that, to be able to slow the game down, because it's actually, for some guys, number one, it's a faster game up here. There's no question about that. Balls are hit harder, situations develop, and if you let it get away from you, you're in trouble. But for a guy to have the presence that Hellickson has had at such a tender age to do that is really exceptional. Here's the Stores. Longoria in at third. And Pena in a bit from first base. No sign of bunting that pitch down and in. 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, most guys have to fight to keep the game from speeding up. Just keep it the same pace.
It's natural to do that.
Well, yeah,
you pop from AAA or AA, wherever you've come from, to the big leagues, and now you think, I've really got to up the game. Well, Hellickson never feels that way.
No, not even when he's in trouble. I mean, that's what's...
And a popper short left. Here comes Jennings. And he makes the grab. 1 away.
It's one thing to have that demeanor, when you come up and you're throwing well and things are moving right along. But it's another to have that demeanor, like you said, coming from the minor leagues just last year, first full season, and being that young and able to slow the game down on that level. But then, you look at his numbers with runners in scoring position overall. Just he never gets rattled. Never gets rattled. Is always to stay in complete control of his emotions, which then allows him to think clearly and think about executing pitches to get out of those jams.
Well, now he faces Ibar, Eric Ibar, the shortstop. The pitch is down and in. That is the breaking ball in around 73. Ibar, the leadoff hitter in last night's game, had a walk and a single. Liner shot, that's foul. Out of play. 1-1. It's a great shot prior to that pitch of Hellickson getting a feel for that baseball. It reminds me of the line that Jim Bouton had. He said, you spend your entire life trying to get a grip on the ball, and he says you realize at some point that it's really the ball that's got a grip on you. And that's what happens in this game. 1 ball and 1 strike. And he fouls this one up the right side, out of play. So another souvenir spread around here, and the count is 1-2. I mean, there are times when you almost think that Hellickson enjoys pitching with men on base more than without runners on base. They hold the count to 1-2. They're going to call catcher's interference here. And Jimenez is going to argue the point with Foster. And here comes Joe Madden out. Let's hear what Foster has to say. It's going to be catcher's interference to load the bases. Jimenez was almost immediate there, claiming that he did not make contact, that the bat did not touch his mitt. Foster made the call, and let's take a look. From that angle, it didn't appear that he made contact. I'm sure Madden wanted to make sure. He said, are you absolutely sure?
Yeah.
Of course, the umpire's going to go, yeah, well, sure, I called it.
Right.
But that's the point I'm sure that Madden was making there. Are you absolutely sure? So it's going to be catcher's interference, and now goes an error charge to the Rays catcher, and the bases are going to be loaded. They're loaded for the Angels catcher. Here's Chris Iannetta. And the pitch is a strike call.
You know, when you go back and look at that, what Marty Foster and who knows if the tick that, you know, it's tough to tell from that angle, but he had a pitch that was up and out of the strike zone. So you have Jimenez is going to be reaching for it as the swing's being taken, and it looks like he closes his glove just as the bat either ticks the top of it or goes over the top. But the fact that he had to reach for the pitch is what would obviously give Marty Foster the impression that that glove is up, in a spot. Combine that with the late swing.
This one is down and away. You know, that's a tough call to make. I don't know really how you make it. There are cases when catcher's interference is just so obvious.
Oh, yeah.
All right, you can make that one. But when one is as nuanced as that one, I don't. That's a tough call to make.
It absolutely is. Usually that glove's going to move. A guy swings a baseball bat. I don't care if he just ticks it. The glove moves in a definitive way. They're just looking to help close it.
Cut and a miss. Let's take a look from. This is Marty Foster's point of view to a degree.
See, and what was that? The glove being knocked down by the swing, or was that the grip? Him squeezing the glove to catch the ball?
Yeah, it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting. Madden's going to try to elicit information from the umpire, and the umpire's not going to. He doesn't want to incriminate himself, so he's like, "Well, I saw the mitt do this." No, we're not going to go there. So sure, I'm positive. That's why I called it. Let's go. Let's play.
Joe put a little mini court case on out there.
So the count's a ball and 2 strikes. Time called. Angels have Hunter at third and Wells at second. Ibar is aboard at first. Counted a ball, 2 strikes. And through all of this, Hellickson's demeanor, we saw before he made the last pitch. It's like, well, go down, get a soda pop, maybe a pack of baseball cards.
As soon as I get out of this. Well, here's the flip side, and it goes against your inner workings, but what good does it do you to get out of control and have your mind start racing and try to start throwing the ball harder?
Yeah, it's wasted energy. 1. Tap foul and distracted concentration.
Yeah, and that leads to mistakes, or it leads to making dumb pitches. And they talk a lot about pitchers. They get into, this guy gets in trouble. He wants to go hard. Well, that doesn't get lost on scouts. Doesn't get lost on the guys in the other dugout. Okay, this guy, when he gets into trouble, he wants to rear back and just throw fastballs and throw harder and harder. Makes you a pretty easy scouting report.
And a foul ball again, a fastball this time. Hunter singled, Wells singled. Asturias hit a fly ball to shallow left. Ibar reached on catcher's interference. 1-2 the count to Iannetta. This will be the 7th pitch of the at-bat coming. And did he go? He did not. Pretty close on the appeal down to Tim Timmons. Iannetta started after that pitch, and according to Timmons, he checked.
Now this was a cutter working its way off the plate. Like he held up.
Not a bad idea there.
No, not at all.
We haven't seen a lot of those. You had a couple, maybe.
Yeah, less frequent than we've seen in the last few starts from Jeremy. That was a good spot for him.
And now the count's going to be full. The change up as Iannetta took it low. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Hellickson touched for a double in the first, and then retired Kendrick, Pujols, and Morales. Now the bases are loaded with 1 out in the 2nd inning. Full count to Iannetta. And he got him. How about all of that? Swing and a miss. That 3-2 changeup got him. Boy, great job by the young right-hander facing the Los Angeles catcher.
Well, anytime you want to talk about what a quality pitch the changeup is for Jeremy Hellickson, or what kind of confidence he has in it, you need to look no further than this at bat. Bases loaded, 3-2 count, and he just goes with it. Picks up a huge strikeout.
Oh, that's just a classic matchup. That's another reason that you stay right with this game, and you don't go over to that other idol show.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a great sequence right there. The confrontation, Hellickson and Iannetta. 9 pitches, and he got him with a changeup. Here's Abreu, and he starts him with a strike. Breaking ball. So Abreu worked the count to 3-2 on a very close pitch, and then doubled to center field. So he's a tough out. The pitch is down. Abreu has been so tough throughout his career because he's not afraid to take pitches. He's had a great eye.
Yes, he does, and not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. Willing to take a count deep, still has a tremendous amount of confidence in his ability.
1-1, here it is. Ground ball down to third. Longoria is going to get the tag, and that retires the side. Angels lead them loaded. We go to the bottom of the second, no score.
What is that? Baby bat. Oh, hell no. Get it, get it, get it. Did you see Price? No. Price is squealing.
Hey, I can't even know. I'm the same way with spiders, dog.
Who knew a bat could be so much fun?
Only in a big league dugout.
It's a whole new experience there for Elliott Johnson with a different kind of bat in his hand. Here's B.J. Upton swinging the bat and rolling it down to third base, and Astures throws him out.
Yeah, he seemed to be pretty comfortable handling that bat.
Yeah.
You know, going out on the field, pulling it off the field
bat
like a champ. Yeah. Well, that's fine, but the old 34-31 doesn't give you rabies.
So where'd they put it? Bat rack or what?
You couldn't resist.
No,
you could not resist that, could you?
Well, we have more coming on the saga.
Oh,
of
you
the bat.
you know, Callis is all over it.
We'll see. Luke Scott, the pitch is down. Well, Todd Callis is our resident Batman. So, find out. 1 ball, no strikes here to Luke Scott, who's the DH tonight. Facing C.J. Wilson. 1-1 count. Scott hitting .295 for the year. There's one hit off a lefty, and that was a home run. He takes a strike. Fastball from C.J. Wilson. Rays had a couple of men on in the first, left him there. And Scott is out reaching.
Well, that's what makes C.J. Wilson so effective. Is he gets ahead of the left-handed hitter 1 and 2, and you're saying to yourself, well, he could go really a number of different ways. Fastball, slider, he likes to go with 2 strikes, or the curveball. And there he yanks the string on the curveball.
Boy, that was just a great shot from center field to show that breaking ball. That's just a classic shot of a classic curveball right there. Now Sean Rodriguez. The pitch is down. 1 ball, no strikes. Sean has 3 hits off C.J. Wilson in his career in 14 at-bats, and one of those hits a home run. 2-0. Well, Wilson is a starting pitcher. You got to give him credit for the success he's had and for the success that he had in Arlington, Texas, which is just a hitter's paradise. Even when you throw ground balls there, it's one thing to give up the long ball there, but the field is so hard because it's so hot it gets baked, and the ball can just skip through that infield and skip down into the corner and up the alleys in the outfield.
It's like playing in the parking lot.
Yeah. I mean, and you got a guy who throws a lot of ground balls, and he's been successful. Foul ball out of play, and the count is 2-2.
Well, that was some of the, what Nolan Ryan was talking about. When he took over that ball club, he wanted to toughen up his pitchers and create a culture where the mindset was our pitchers are going to be tough guys. They're going to go out there. They're going to throw a lot of innings. They're going to be well conditioned. And boy, a few years of that, he's got a staff full of them.
Ground ball headed up the middle and past the diving Kendrick. Sean Rodriguez picks up a 2-out single. Yeah, it's amazing what a little different mindset can do, and that's what they've done for that Texas club.
Now, right where it was pitched, fastball down the middle. Sean Rodriguez takes it right back up the middle. Stays right on that ball and threw it. 2-out hit. See if the Rays put Sean in motion.
Chris Jimenez, 5 hits for the year, and all have been against lefties. He's 5 out of 6 against left-handed pitching. This is the fastball. Pulled off a little bit. Strike one.
He was trying to, there's no doubt about the intentions of that swing.
Just checking with the plate umpire, Marty Foster, whether that was a good pitch or not.
Well, that tells you right there he pulled off of it. That ball was right down the middle. He's not even sure.
1-1 now. At this point, Jimenez has been an impressive pickup by the Rays.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. When I think about him behind the plate, you don't notice it, which is a good thing.
Yep.
He just does his job back there.
Behind in the count here, 1 ball and 2 strikes. That one had a little wrinkle in it from C.J. Wilson.
He's got the curveball working here. But yeah, you think about Chris Jimenez, it's like an official in a basketball game or a football game. You don't notice them, then they must be okay.
That squares the count. It's 2-2. Rodriguez at first. Single into center. was out reaching for that one. So he strikes out, and the Rays leave a man. We head on to the third. No score. Rays game is presented in high definition, brought to you by H.H. Gregg. They're happy Carlos Pena is back in a Rays uniform. Carlos off to a great start here for the Rays the second time around. And we go to the third inning. Jeremy Hellickson against C.J. Wilson. And Howie Kendrick leads it off for the Angels. Then Albert Pujols and Kendry Morales. Ground ball back through the middle and a base hit into center field. He hit a curveball, an opening curveball, and a base hit.
Well, yeah, that was not a very good curveball there by Jeremy Hellickson. Kind of rolled up there, no real finish to it. And Kendrick recognized that, kept his hands back, and just hammered it right back up the middle. There you go. I think you see the spike grip. You see him just wait on that, put his leg down, and hammer it back up the middle.
Pujols out short to first, his first time. And he takes a strike. So the Angels have had the leadoff man aboard in all 3 innings now.
Yeah, I get Jeremy Hellickson's a cool customer, throws well and with runners in scoring position, but you don't want to push your luck.
And a foul ball back. 0-2. Pujols with the Cardinals last year. 37 home runs. Drove in 99. It's up and in a bit. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Log the time. Log the time. That was great. 0-2. Right up around the letters. Nothing wrong with that.
Pujols just checking his sleeve. Oh, it's a little dirty.
You're all right.
That was what, 8:05 Eastern time. Ooh, nice idea. Come on, give him that.
Well,
pitch.
you know what? If that's up just a little bit more, he completely gets a ring up strikeout there.
I mean, this is how the game's supposed to be played right here.
You see, look at, and Albert Pujols, that approach there was he was going back out over the plate. He had no chance at that pitch.
2-2. And a swing and a miss. He comes back and had him out in front on the changeup. Well, a nice job there by Hellickson. Pitch up and in. 2 pitches later, this is a dandy changeup.
Yep, lets it fly. Look at that. That ball comes out of his hand. It looks like a knee-high fastball coming right down the middle.
Right now, Pujols is saying, who is that kid? Pitching like a veteran. It's Kendry Morales. And Morales takes a strike. Fastball right there to start this count in the favor of Hellickson. Shift on for Morales, so there's strike 2. We saw that shot of Pujols. He's now 0 for 18 right now, with no home runs. So he's thinking about that. You can see it right there.
And that's probably one of the worst things that you can do in this game is think.
Yeah, he's absolutely alone with his thoughts right there. He just missed.
You know, when we talk about command of pitches, that's command, even though it's a ball. You're in an 0-2 count. You're trying to do that. You're trying to throw a pitch that's right on the edge or just off to see if you can get a call or a chase.
And I tell you, he just all over and around that strike zone.
Yeah. Yeah, right now he's dotting his pitches nice. Good idea of what he's trying to do. This is the count, though. You got to make something happen. 2-2 count. Action pitch.
Runner goes. The pitch is down. The throw's going to get it. He is out at second base. Kendrick caught stealing for the first time this year. Rays had to shift on. Longoria took the throw. 2-5 on the caught stealing. They eliminate Kendrick.
You know, and Jimenez does a nice job of going down for that changeup. Not an easy pitch to handle, and then come up and fire a strike. Look at that. Right on the money. Kendrick just slides right into it. That is perfect. Can't walk it out there any better.
Well, Morales breaks his bat and rolls it down to first. Picked up by Pena, unassisted, and the Rays will come in to hit in the bottom half of inning 3. No score.
I was right behind Price, and I was like going like this. I was going.
Rusty said he's gonna call somebody and figure out how to take care of him. Because Joe said he wants to keep it
In the clubhouse?
as like a team pet. So,
It's our rally bat, man.
Hey, how about that? The team mascot, team pet, they're going to keep the bat. It's the rally bat, the whole
Great.
thing.
Great.
Well, there you are.
It'll be on the plane. On a string.
Here's Desmond Jennings, top of the order. Jennings, Zobrist, and Pena. And Desmond shortens on the bat. The pitch is in there for a strike. Nice. Sends another theme trip coming up.
Please no.
Pitch is outside. It was a breaking ball that did not break a lot. 1-1 to count to Jennings. Strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Great to have you look again tonight. The Rays taking on the Angels, facing C.J. Wilson. For Wilson, signing with the Angels was really going home. He's an Orange County native. He grew up an Angels fan. So it was a no-brainer for him. Nice contract. Go home. And a team contending for the AL West Division title. Desmond Jennings out on strikes. One away here in the third. Barry LeBrock is in the house tonight. Barry?
Hey, Dwayne, you know we like to follow the tweets from either the Rays players or the Rays fans. I saw a tweet today that said, David Price, way to go. Of course, David coming off that great win last night, but the tweet was credited to one Astro Price, which, of course, is the name of David's dog. I can neither confirm nor deny that Astro actually banged this out with his own paws, but if we see one later tonight that says something like, hey, David, don't forget to stop on the way home for the sausage and bacon, we're going to have an investigation.
Well, I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of it.
We've got the man for it.
Yes, we do. 2-0 the count on Ben Zobrist. Ben lined to center his first time on a ball caught by Vernon Wells. Strike. Caught the outside edge. 2-1. C.J. Wilson, 31 years old. He was a 16-game winner last year in 34 starts. Made himself a big part of that Texas pitching staff. Pitched over 220 innings. 2-2 the count to Ben Zobrist. And a high fly ball hit deep to left. Abreu's going to look up, and Zobrist hits it out. Ben Zobrist hits his third home run of the year, and the Rays take a 1-0 lead. Well, Ben was 4 for 20 with 7 strikeouts against C.J. Wilson until this.
Well, and he got a hanging slider. And for C.J. Wilson, he'd love to have that pitch selection bat. You know, earlier in the bat, the cutter in sped up Ben Zobrist. That pitch right there, just too easy.
Oh, yeah. Got him!
Pena takes a big cut at a fastball and fouls it back. That's a strike. Pena checks. That's a ball. So the count is 1 ball, 1 strike. Two. Well, Ben Zobrist picks up the home run. That's his second hit off a lefty. The Rays have hit 24 home runs so far this year. Pena check. The appeal down to Eric Cooper. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Pena takes this one, a 2-2 breaking ball for ball 3. 3-2. Lines it and to right over the head of Kendrick. Just got it over the shift. Pena has a base hit.
Now tonight's game is available in Espanol via SAP, brought to you by Coventry Healthcare of Florida. I'm going to tell you something. Where they had that shift played, you couldn't have walked the baseball out and dropped it over the second baseman's head in front of the right fielder. I mean, Kendrick and Hunter, they had everything pinched.
Yeah. And I don't care how accurate your arm might be, you couldn't have thrown a ball in a better spot.
No, any more loft, and Hunter gets to it. Any more of a line, Kendrick gets to it. Perfectly placed.
Now here's Evan Longoria fouling that pitch, strike 1. Evan was intentionally walked his first time. Rays have a run home on the Zobrist home run, and now a man at first for Longoria with 1 out. Fastball in. It's 1-1. Rays and the Angels. Rays were winners last night, 5-0. They lead 1-0 tonight. Pitch is low. 2 balls and a strike. Matt Moore is going to pitch tomorrow for the Rays against Jerome Williams, and then the Rays will head to Texas. James Shields, who is mic'd up in the Rays dugout tonight for us, will open that series in Texas. Foul ball out of play. The count is 2 balls, 2 strikes. Angels starting a 6-game road trip last night. They'll head into Cleveland after their stop here against the Rays. There goes the runner. The pitch is a strike, and the throw way off to the right. So Pena breaking on the pitch, has himself a stolen base. And Socha, I think, wants to know if there's some interference with Longoria, maybe. They got the Kendrick interference earlier, and now Socha, when you saw the trajectory of that throw, yeah, he just didn't get a grip on it. No interference at all.
That's a 3-finger changeup. Tough to throw out runners with that grip. Or a knuckleball.
You know, Evan actually ducked to prevent any contact there. And he didn't move his feet, so it was not a moving screen. It was just a stolen base for Pena.
Tin can and a rally monkey. Begging.
Well, there's Keppinger. And the pitch made down and in as Kendrick was breaking to the bag at second base. It was a breaking ball to Keppinger. A little pop out to the third baseman, Misturis, in the first inning. C.J. Wilson ran a pitch in on his fist. And a fastball over the outside part of the plate. And it's a 1-1 count. Well, the base hit by Pena and a steal by Carlos to give the Rays another scoring opportunity. First stolen base attempt of the year by Pena is successful. Rays have 2 steals tonight and a home run. Two balls and a strike. C.J. Wilson in his 4th start. His wins over Minnesota and the Yankees on the road, both those games, and a loss at home against Oakland. Foul out of play. He's actually pitched well in all of his outings. He gave up 4 runs against Oakland, 3 earned, but had 8 strikeouts in that game in 6 innings. Two and two the count. Keppinger takes it close. And the count is full. It's the pitch that popped him up the first time around, and he laid off, took that pitch for a ball, and the count full. Keppinger shoots it up the right field line. That's going to be a fair ball. Bounce against the sidewall. Pena scores. Keppinger in its second of the double, and the Rays lead 2-0. Jeff Keppinger just punched a soft fly ball up the right side inside the line. Now the steal by Pena, and the Rays turn it into a run.
Well, Jeff Keppinger, the one thing that he'll do is battle an at-bat, put a ball in play. He fell down 2 strikes there, took a cutter in off the plate, and then just pushes this ball right down the right field line.
Clearly fair, as called by James Shields.
With an assist from David Price.
Now B.J. Upton. Pitch is a strike. B.J. grounded to third his first time. But through all of this, Wilson's pitch count, this is going to be the 29th pitch of the inning coming up. A little tap down to third, foul. He'd made 32 pitches through the first 2 innings. In this inning now. B.J. 0 for 18 against C.J. Wilson. So he's due. Bounces one foul. Battling a 2-strike count. Do you ever have a string like that against a hitter and then worry that he might actually be due? just going to continue to dominate.
No, I mean, it crosses your mind. Then you go right back to whatever had been working. But yeah, you in a moment of clarity, you say to yourself, how long can this continue to happen?
Yes, how long must this go on?
Right. But it was the same way the other one. You know, flip it around, the guy's having a lot of success off you. They're like, this cannot continue to happen.
No.
I mean, for goodness sake.
Yep. So it's a 2-strike count to Upton. He fouled away 1-0 pitch. And a swing and a miss and a healthy fastball. He's out on strikes. The Rays scored twice. They get on the board initially on the 3rd home run of the year by Ben Zobrist. We're through 3, and the Rays lead 2-0. Two 2-0 Rays lead. Our game moves into the 4th inning. Time for the AT&T trivia question. We're the only 3 players in Major League Baseball history to average 25 home runs, 100 runs batted in, and 40 two-base hits over their first 3 big league seasons. And again, we always try to make that relevant. I think it's relevant to our game here tonight. Off-speed pitch is high to Torrey Hunter for a ball. 4th inning is underway. 1-0. Hunter, Wells, and Astures due up. Cut and a miss there. So the count goes to 1-1. Hunter had a base hit, a line single into center field his first time. And a fly ball into right. Zobrist is there, and he makes the catch. 1 away. With that, we'll check in with Todd Callis.
Dwayne, a couple of special people watching us. The crew over at the Pasco Fire Rescue Station 17 have been asking some questions, and a gentleman stationed at Langley Air Force Base as well. But we have a lot of people. Matt, Dwayne, Nicholas from Fort Polk, Louisiana, at J. Jeremy, Mike, Brian, and Marcus all on Twitter want to know what's going on with the signing of Hideki Matsui. If, in fact, he joins the Rays, where can he help us out, guys?
Well, I think it's one of those moves that Andrew Friedman feels, and it appears it'll get done. And as far as we know, it's not completely done yet. Wells takes a strike, but it certainly helps if you can make the organization a little deeper and have another bat down there. And you know, I think he had 251 last year with 12 home runs, but he had he had a good second half. I think he hit over 290 the second half of the season. And I think the Rays feel there's a bat that could come in handy. And we know how that's worked out. You have to look no further than Dan Johnson and his 2 stays with the Rays. I mean, he hit 2 home runs that you cannot underestimate the value of those home runs that he hit. Who knows, if he doesn't hit those home runs, this team has gone to the postseason 3 times in the last 4 years. Maybe they go once if he doesn't hit those home runs. So that's how important to have some depth and some pop. So I think that's what the Rays are thinking in the Hideki Matsui potential signing.
And I would concur with nothing to add. I think you've covered it.
Well, there we go. Now all they have to do is sign him and announce it. Pitch is down. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That pitch is low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. One out with the bases empty. Ooh, pretty close right there with a fastball. Full count now to Wells. Ellingson's 3-2 and a long fly ball deep to left center, and that's going to get out of here. Home run for Vernon Wells. A 3-2 pitch. 4th home run of the year for Wells. And the Angels are on the scoreboard for the first time in this series.
Now Jeremy trying to make a pitch here. 3-2. I think he tried to cut that ball, and that was almost like a backup slider. Trying to throw that cut fastball, and it stayed pretty true, had less velocity, and caught a lot of plate.
So Wells takes advantage of that. And here's Asturis. Pitch outside. Wells came into this game hitting .222. That's his 4th home run, and that's pretty much the kind of season he had last year. He had 25 home runs, hit just .218, but with 25 home runs. So the Angels make it a 2-1 game. Two balls and a strike. Angels had gone 12 1/3 innings without a run in this series before the home run by Wells. Ground ball for Keppinger. That's out number 2.
Well, bring a group of your family, friends, and coworkers to Tropicana Field and become a member of the Group Leader Rewards program today. You can earn rewards such as a free Rays ticket, Desmond Jennings autographed bat, much, much more. For more information, visit RaysBaseball.com/Group Leader or call toll-free 855-GROUP-TB.
The shortstop, Eric Ibar. Rolls it to first. Carlos Pena makes the play unassisted. The Angels get a run on the long one from Wells. Bottom of the 4th coming, 2-1 Rays.
quarters and like catch them like that. I got 8. I got 8. All 8.
These shirts are available for a limited time.
Watch his face. Man, the myth, the legend.
I think I beat you.
More frivolity. And now we're serious once again. Here's Luke Scott. Takes the pitch high. 1 ball and no strikes.
It's a child's game.
Hey, the life of a starting pitcher, it's a different life.
Oh, yes it is.
Yeah. The 1-0 count. It's upstairs. 2-0.
That's the thing. On the day that you're not starting, you're putting a lot of work in, but it's all early.
Mm-hmm.
It's all behind the scenes. And once the game starts, it's that. Nonsense.
Scott pops it foul. Third base side. Asturias a long run. It's going to be on top of the dugout. Out of reach, and it's 2-1. We'll be with you tomorrow, 12:30, the wrap-up game of the homestand. Matt Moore will make the start for the Rays. It's inside. 3 balls and a strike. Kansas City leads Cleveland in the top of the 6th, 4-0. Seattle has a 6-1 lead in Detroit, top of the 5th inning. That's not the 3-1 swing that you normally see Luke Scott take.
Well, and that's what a 91-mile-an-hour cutter will do. Luke Scott thinks he's getting a fastball where he can get his arms extended, and all of a sudden that ball moves 4-6 inches.
Three-two. There's a liner up the right side. Luke comes right back with that one into the right field corner, and he's going to hang on to the single. So leadoff base hit. Slow, favoring the hamstring.
Well, he got another cutter. This one didn't have quite the same amount of movement. He dialed right in on it. No, it's not a kid's Sunday.
What are you trying to say?
That he wasn't running 100% there.
Yeah, that's right. He wasn't. Sean Rodriguez takes the pitch low. 1 ball and no strikes.
He's a little too highbrow, probably.
It was for me.
Yeah, that was up to.
You got to lower. You got to lower that that level of conversation.
I was moving into
directing something toward me.
I was moving into Dennis Miller territory, where 8 people get it.
There's a foul ball, and it's 1-1.
But those 8 people laugh really hard.
And they feel really good about getting it. You made 8 people. You validated 8 people. Way to go. The rest of us, we're just out here. What's he saying? 1 ball, 1 strike. Cut and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes here. Rays scored 2 runs in the 3rd. A home run by Zobrist and a double by Keppinger. Chased home Pena. Vernon Wells homered in the 4th. The Orioles are hitting in the bottom of the 6th. They lead the Blue Jays 2-0. It's popped back into right for Hunter. And that is the first out. Hey, let's get the answer to our trivia question here in the bottom of the 4th. Brought to you by AT TBA. Question being the only 3 players in Major League history to average 25 home runs, 100 runs batted in, and 40 doubles over their first 3 Major League seasons. 2 of them here tonight. Albert Pujols at first, Evan Longoria, the Rays' third baseman, in the company of the splendid splinter, Ted Williams. Chris Jimenez. The pitch is a strike. How about company like that for these 2 guys? Longoria and Pujols right there with Ted Williams.
Yeah, I mean, one of the all-time legendary baseball players in history. Wrote the book on hitting.
Arguably the best hitter.
Yeah. Pretty good pilot, too.
Yes, he was. Extraordinary vision played a big part in both of those pursuits.
I mean, could you imagine?
No.
I'm just going to pull out for a couple of years and go fly, fighter planes.
Mm-hmm.
Come back, pick up where I left off.
2-strike count here. He literally could see things that other people could not see.
That's right.
Which really moves us into a philosophical question. If you can't see it, is it real? Well, for some people, they couldn't see it. Ted Williams could see it, and it was very real at the expense of pitchers everywhere. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Luke Scott at first. Jimenez is reaching for that one and out on strikes. Changeup. He got him away on a fastball the first time. And a change away this time.
Yeah, taking it to the extreme. That ball right on the corner all the way there, and the little tailing action at the end. Got him on the location and the change of speed.
Back around to the top of the order. Here's Desmond Jennings. That's 7 strikeouts now for Wilson. A ball and no strikes the count. Last time we checked, Texas had a 1-0 lead on the Yankees. That game's in the top of the 3rd in Arlington, Texas. Two balls, no strikes. Boston hitting in the top of the 2nd. At Minnesota, no score. And Oakland and the White Sox had quite a game out in Oakland, and the A's win it in 14 innings, 3-2. It's popped foul. White Sox scored 2 runs in the 14th, and Oakland scored 3 in the bottom of the 14th to win it 3-2. Two-one pitch. Desmond takes that one right in there for a strike. And it's 2-2. Yes, it was. felt like playing catch with Albert Pujols there. 2-2 the count. Ground ball, deep short, backhanded by Ibar, and the throw to second in time to get Scott on a force play. We'll head into the fifth. 2-1 Tampa Bay. That slugging percentage tells the story in 632 versus 333 so far this month. Just as the Angels count on Albert Pujols to heat up, you can count on Just For Men Auto Stop for foolproof results. Mike Scioscia and the Angels, 6-11 coming into play tonight. Chris Iannetta, the catcher, leads it off. Hellickson 70 pitches through 4. Wilson has made 82 pitches through 4. And here's Iannetta, 28-year-old catcher. And there's a strike. Fastball starts him. Count to 0-2, and that pitch ran away a little bit. 0-2 count. It's upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Outfield straight away for the Angels catcher. He lays off that off-speed pitch. 2-2. Like a lot of hitters, Iannetta prefers that fastball to anything off-speed with a little wrinkle. The 2-2. It's hit on the ground, foul. We'll see another 2-2 pitch. Iannetta hit 14 home runs last year with the Rockies. Did a lot of damage at Coors Field. And the outside. So for the second straight time, we have a full count in this matchup between Hellickson and Iannetta. It was a 9-pitch at bat in the second inning. And Hellickson finally got him with a changeup. He's 3-2 with him here in the fifth. And that is outside and low. So a walk given up to open the fifth inning. Let's check in here with Todd Callis.
Dwayne, we are in the Big Game James Club. We have quite a family with us. It is the Bartles family. Ed and Amy are just remarkable people. And the family was at the Tradewinds Resort today, and then they went on the field today as part of a very special day. James Shields, his wife Ryan, have been instrumental. There you see the gang on the field before the game. As part of James Shields and Ryan Shields' Big Game James Club, they're associated with Eckerd Foster and Adoption. There you see the number if you want more information, 866-233-0790. And why don't you guys tell me your names?
Matthew. James.
That's Austin Henry, who actually wears Shields number 33, Clearwater Baseball.
Anthony. Aaron. Jordan. Hello, James here, and my name is David.
And this is the unbelievable couple, Ed and Amy. Over 10 years, 70 children have come through their home. So Big Game James, Ryan, Ed and Amy, awesome group, the whole gang. Back to you, Dwayne.
Yeah, it is an awesome group. You just don't get any better than that. James Shields, Ryan, they do a lot of work in that area, taking advantage of an opportunity for good work in the community. Meanwhile, Bobby Abreu is at the plate with a 1-0 count, a runner at first, nobody out. The pitch close, but that's ball 2. Does Marty Foster, 2-0. And it's upstairs. 3 balls, no strikes. A deliberate effort for Hellickson tonight. Angels have had base runners in every inning. In fact, the Rays have had base runners in every inning. .30, and he finds the strike zone. 3-1. You double off the center field wall in the first. Into a fielder's choice force play. Actually, it was a force play that Longoria turned into a tag play back in the second. It's fouled well out of play on the opposite side. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 5-1 for the Rays tonight. 1-5-0 for the Angels. Swing and a miss. Runner goes, and the throw down, and they're going to get him. Rodriguez puts the tag on Iannetta on a strikeout, throw him out double play. Second time tonight that Jimenez has cut down an Angels base runner.
Well, how about the turn of events there? It goes from a leadoff walk and a 3-0 count to a swing and a miss strikeout, and then Jimenez a little delayed jumping out of there. Watch Iannetta. There he goes. Waiting on Sean Rodriguez. The throw, the tag. It's a beautiful thing.
The bases are empty. 2 outs, and here's Kendrick hitting a ground ball foul outside of third. That's a strike. Jimenez catches Iannetta. He threw out Howie Kendrick trying to steal for the second out back in the third. That was a very impressive throw made by Jimenez to get Kendrick. And strike two. A fastball, 0-2. His feet. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The ground ball headed to short. Rodriguez up and out with the throw. Kendrick's out of there. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 2-1 Rays. The Rays this year through the first 17 games as opposed to last year, and the offense a little bit different. The home runs, the Rays had 23 coming into play tonight. Zobrist is hit number 24 for the team, and that on-base percentage quite different as well.
The home runs coming into the game, 4th in the American League, 5th in Major League Baseball, and with that home run by Ben Zobrist, that now gives the Rays 6 guys in this lineup that have at least 3 home runs here in the first 17-plus games.
Well, here's Zobrist leading off, and he takes the pitch up a little bit. Here's another look at the home run on a 2-2 pitch. Slider that he hit out. Right back to the hill this time, and Wilson's thrown to first in time. 1 away. Zobrist, Pena, and Longoria due up for Joe Madden and the Rays in the bottom of the 5th inning. Rays scored both their runs in the 3rd. And Hellick's in touch for a Los Angeles run in the 4th inning. Pena, and he takes the pitch up. Difference in the game right now is Pena's base hit, the steal of second, and he scored on Keppinger's double up the right field line. There's a strike from the left-hander Wilson, And it's 1-1. Wilson with 7 strikeouts. He's given up just 1 walk, 2 runs, 5 hits. And he throws strike 2 to Pena. It's 1-2. Wilson working here in the 5th. He's pitched at least 6 innings in all of his starts. 6 innings in the last 2. 7 innings in his first outing. That was against Minnesota. And a swing and a foul ball. He got just a little piece of that one, or did he? Nope. He says, plate umpire Marty Foster says there was no contact. Pena thought he had fouled it. Lionetta retrieved it and tagged Pena. And Pena claiming that he did not make contact. So Joe Madden comes out to take up the conversation. Or he's claiming that he made contact there. And Foster says no. Wow, how about that?
He
Carlos
sees
thought
all.
He thought it was a foul ball.
Yeah. Look back behind him. Well, the thing is, too, and you know, Carlos kind of a laid-back guy, but when a hitter doesn't get really animated when he's arguing the call, you know, a 3rd strike, then you start to wonder.
So Carlos out on strikes, 2 gone. A couple of visits between Madden and Foster tonight. The other one over the catcher's interference back in the 2nd inning on the error charge to Jimenez. And a pop-up, foul ball right side. Pujols angling back after it, makes the catch on an adjustment. And the Rays are up and down 1, 2, 3. We go through 5. 2-1 Rays.
Here, let's take a look at that last at bat, the pitch-by-pitch sequence from Jeremy Hellickson. Starts him off. Albert gives him the changeup strike, and then a cutter here he goes after, just fouls it off, and then this pitch up and in. Nice pitch there by Jeremy Hellickson. Comes back with a fastball. Had Albert fooled, but he took it a close one. Follows that up with a changeup in the same exact spot. Albert swings at this one out in front. Big strikeout there by Jeremy Hellickson. That was a nice way to work and use that pitch up and in
to then set up your strikeout.
So Hellickson, 2 hitters into the third time through the rotation of this lineup. And Albert Pujols will lead it off here in the 6th, then Morales and Hunter. Rays with the shift on. And the pitch is up. Keppinger on the shortstop side of the bag at second base. Outfield spread out. Chopper foul. 1-1. Pujols has grounded out and struck out on the sequence that we saw earlier. Pop-up foul that's coming straight back and will fall into the field seats below. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Wade Davis up in the Rays bullpen down the right field line. Holds at a ball, 2 strikes.
Jeremy continuing to work over that inside part of the plate. Right on the corner, in off.
And he'll try the 1-2 pitch again. Oh, strike 3 call. He got him looking with that little breaking ball. I think he made him so conscious of the pitch in. He came back with that little curveball and got him looking.
Yeah, and kept this in his back pocket. Albert has not seen the curveball, and you see how it buckled him. Right there, you see the grip, the spike curveball, and Albert completely fooled on that pitch.
So here's Kendry Morales. Morales twice has grounded out. 1 ball, no strikes.
I'll tell you right, Dwayne, you're absolutely right, too. That shows you the benefits of pitching in. It's not just about the curveball.
Yep.
It's about the pitches that set it up and making him aware of that ball in there. He's so conscious to not get beat in there. He's getting beat on curveballs right out over the plate.
2-0. He's 0 for 3 tonight, 0 for 19 now.
Well, until he makes the adjustment, that's what teams are going to continue to do, is just try to wear out his hands.
Cut and miss off speed. The change-up makes it 2-1. Fastball moved by Morales. Rays with the shift on for Morales. Keppinger's in shallow right. Morales hit the ball to him out there in the first, and Keppinger threw him out. Now the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Ball 4, he lost him wide. Second walk given up by Hellickson.
Well, experience a Rays game from the all-inclusive Hancock Bank Club, offering extraordinary seating and luxurious lounge and dining areas. The Hancock Bank Club features an upscale menu and includes some drink options. For tickets and more information, call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com.
One on with 1 out in the 6th. And Torrey Hunter Hunter had a base hit his first time up, giving him 1 for 2 on the night, coupled with a fly ball to right. Chops it foul. Hellickson up around 100 pitches now, with Wade Davis busy in the bullpen. He had a 25 pitch second inning. There's Wade. And a liner. Great pickup by Keppinger on one hop. And they turn the 4-6-3 double play. A low liner, one hop. Keppinger, Rodriguez to Pena. Rays get the double play. Angels out. Bottom of the 6th coming. 2-1. Tampa Bay. Has made 100 pitches through 6 innings. He got out of a big spot in the first inning, got out of a base and loaded situation in the second. In the third, Ben Zobrist in his 3rd home run of the year. Jeff Keppinger later in the inning doubled up the right field line, scoring Carlos Pena to make it 2-0. The Angels got on the board when Vernon Wells hit his 4th home run of the season. That was in the 4th. So it's 2-1 as the Rays come in to hit in the bottom half of inning 6. And it will be Keppinger against C.J. Wilson. The pitch is a strike. Keppinger, Upton, and then Scott. One ball, one strike. Double by Keppinger was his 3rd of the year, and he got it just fair up the right field line. Didn't hit it all that hard, but it was well placed. And right now is the difference in the game because Pena had singled and had stolen second. And with 2 outs, Keppinger doubled him home. Hit on the ground is short. Ibar has it. Floats the throw across to Pujols. One away, and we'll check in now with Todd Callis.
Dwayne, we've got an update on the bat situation. Apparently, he is in a nice little home in Chris Westmoreland's clubhouse. In fact, Westy's clubhouse turning into a bat cave now. So the bat is being fed, watched after, as only he can, by Chris Westmoreland. Our latest question and Ask the Rays on Ask the Announcer website Wednesday. There you go. Ask the Rays at Fox.com or Twitter, hashtag Ask the Rays at Sun Sports Rays, is what about Matt Joyce versus lefties? A couple of viewers wondering why he hasn't played started the last couple of games with lefty starters, guys.
All right. Well, here's B.J. Upton taking a pitch outside. Well, one of the reasons is because B.J. Upton is back, and that further crowds the outfield situation, and certainly against lefties. I guess it would come down tonight if they were going to shift anything. They would have put Zobrist at second and maybe Joyce in the outfield, in which case Keppinger would not have been in the lineup tonight. And as it turns out, Keppinger's the difference in the game. But it's kind of interesting because it's only 4 at bats, but Joyce is 2 for 4 off C.J. Wilson, and he's hit a home run off him. In fact, he homered against him here at the Trop last year. He hit a fastball out to right. That was at the end of May, on May the 31st. Upton is called out on strikes. And at the time, Joyce was hitting 370. And he was keeping that front side in against lefties and not all that concerned about pulling the ball. And I think that's going to be the key for him to get more at bats against left-handed pitchers. And I think he will get a few more at bats against them. And I think Madden will try to pick his spots.
Well, yeah, and we talk about Matt Joyce and his approach at the plate, at that willingness to take the ball back up the middle and hit it the other way. Well, that gets exacerbated when you're facing a lefty, because now all of a sudden you want to pull out of there quick, arms right on top of you. But when that front hip goes and you start to get real pull conscious and coming out of there, then a lefty can really exploit you, especially a lefty like C.J. Wilson with the slider, the fastball he can run out there. He can cut the ball away from you. He can do a lot of different things. And so I think that you'll see the more playing time that Matt Joyce gets against left-handed starters will be because Joe Madden will be really liking what he's seeing from his approach in the box. And when he has that approach of staying on the baseball for a long time, letting it travel, and hitting the ball the other way when he has to, and then pulling when he just reacts and uses his hands.
And the ball hit toward the right field line, and on the run is Hunter to make the catch, retiring the side. 1-2-3 go the Rays. On to the 7th, 2-1 Tampa Bay.
Help from Brian and Dwayne, and guys, he said thank you very much. She waffled for a little while, but ultimately said he was sent upstairs to the 19-inch non-high def TV to watch the rest of the Rays, and she got the big TV. So unfortunately, Mark did not prevail in that situation. Some of the Rays players, in fact, were talking about Idol earlier today.
What's a good song that you would sing? Like if you tried out for American Idol, what would it be? What would be your song?
Fire to the Rain by Adele.
By Adele?
I believe it. Right?
Which one is that one?
Which one? I don't know the words.
Well,
well, then how would you sing it? What? How's it go? Gosh, I forgot.
Something like set fire to the rain.
So, guys, again, Mark appreciates the effort. He said you're better than Dr. Phil, but it just didn't work out for him. Back to you.
Wells. Yeah, but they're still together, and that's the most important thing. So we feel good about that. There's where there's a will, there's a way, and they figured it out. One strike the count to Vernon Wells. This one, a foul ball, and Jimenez lost his mask on that deflection of the foul ball. 0-2. Wade Davis, the new Rays pitcher, on for the 6th time. Pitch is popped up, foul ball, and that one's going to carry out of play. 5-1 for the Rays, 1-5-0 for the Angels. 6 innings and 100 pitches for Hellickson. He got the double play ball on the 100th pitch of the night, and Wells chased that pitch. He's out on strikes. Nice slider right there.
You see that pitch? That's tough to lay off of. That ball out of the strike zone. Angel hitters are going to get a little bit of a different look here from Wade Davis than they got from Jeremy Hellickson. A lot of fastball changeup from Hellickson. You're going to more of the hard stuff from Davis. Fastball, curve, slider.
Asturis up there. Maicer Asturis. Elliott Johnson in the game at second base, replacing Keppinger, with the Rays protecting a 2-1 lead. 2-0. Well, Johnson in for defensive reasons now, but he was on the field earlier for his bat. Well, I'm not sure it's his bat, but he did save the bat.
It is now.
Hey, you save a bat's life, you're responsible for its actions from that point forward. So an added responsibility to Elliott Johnson. There's a strike on the inside part of the plate, and it's 2-2. It's low. Full count. Jake McGee, the lefty. Joel Peralta, the right-hander. 3-2 and a liner in the right. That's going to go to the wall. And Zobrist has to go get it. A stand-up double for Asturis. Asturis picking up his second extra base hit of the year, both doubles.
No, full count. This ball just all over the plate. That seems to be the theme. You throw pitches there, hitters put good swings on them, and you kind of back yourself into a corner by going into that full count, needing to throw a strike.
Barry Kaibar. Nice job of covering up on the pitch by Jimenez. Angels have had runners on base in every inning. There's a strike. It's 1-1. Through the first couple innings, they were very quickly 0 for 6 with men in scoring position. And while they've had men on base in every inning since then, this is the first time since the second that they've had a man on in scoring position. Fastball misses a bit wide. It's 2-1. Davis in his first inning of work here.
I'll tell you what Wade Davis has to do here is be careful too. Eric Ibar is known to, he sprays the ball around. You got Sean Rodriguez playing kind of up the middle, keeping the runner close. Evan Longoria in his normal position. A lot of room out there for him to go the other way.
And he goes right to Rodriguez, who gloves it, and the throw to first is in time. Asturias has to stay at second base. So with 2 outs, Asturias at second. Chris Iannetta coming up.
Well, this is just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Tell you what, they're going fast down there. Iannetta. He struck out and walked. And the pitch is popped into shallow right. Fastball in on him, and Zobrist makes the catch to retire the side. Man left at second. 7th inning stretch time. Rays lead 2-1.
A 2-1 lead over the Angels. On tonight's game and all season long, Tires Plus will donate $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Tampa Bay Rays home run televised on Sun Sports and Fox Sports Florida.
Well, it's a 1-run ball game, 2-1. Rays headed into the home half of the 7th inning against the left-hander C.J. Wilson, with Sean Rodriguez leading it off. Sean is 1 for 2 tonight. He singled in the second. And the pitch is swung on and skied to the opposite side, and that's Hunter out there. He's got a whole room full of Gold Gloves, and he makes that catch in routine fashion.
Number 16, Chris Jimenez.
Now it's Chris Jimenez all set to hit. Jimenez 0 for 2. He's had a good night behind the plate. He's looked good again back there. And the first pitch, a good fastball, well placed for a strike. One ball, one strike. Jimenez came into this game with 5 hits and 6 at bats against lefties. Facing a tough one tonight in Wilson. That foul ball puts him behind in the count. 1-2. Carpenter back up, the right-hander, and Takahashi getting loose now, the left-hander. The 1-2, a swing and a miss. On a pitch down and away, a fastball. That's going to be double figures for strikeouts now.
Right, and you know what's been impressive about C.J. Wilson is watch the action that he gets on this 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Look at that late action. And the reason is, same reason he gets the good cut on his cutter. He's got very good hand action out in front. Tremendous finish, and that's what gives that ball the late life.
And there's a base hit on the first pitch to Jennings. A fastball. Desmond has himself a base hit. His first hit tonight. Second time he's been on base.
Speaking about good life, that ball, good life coming off the bat, got right underneath the diving Howie Kendrick. That ball was hit hard.
First hit the Rays have had since the 4th inning. When led off with a base hit.
He stayed down and threw that baseball and squirts by Kendrick in a hurry.
Ben Zobrist down to third. Picked up by Astures, and into right field it goes. Jennings will go to third, and the inning will continue for the Rays. With the Rays looking at the third out of the inning. Instead, Jennings is at third, and Zobrist is aboard at first.
Absolutely no reason for his tourist to rush that throw like he did. That was a 2-hopper down there to third base, and he came up firing like he needed to turn the double play and not just take the force out and end the inning. Watch how quick he gets rid of it. Doesn't even take a step. That's how you turn a double play with 2 speedy guys on base. And if you feel like you need to make the throw that quick to second, then just gather yourself and make the throw across to first to get out of the inning. There was a mistake made there that hopefully the Rays can take advantage of. Pad this lead.
First error of the night, charge to the Angels. They're 12th of the season, and it will give the Rays an extra out here in the bottom of the 7th and get Carlos Pena to the plate. Carlos is 1 for 3. He singled, stole a base, and scored a run in the 3rd. He's the difference in the game right now. It's 2-1. Carlos takes the pitch. That's a strike. They have Kendrick stationed in shallow right, and Ibar shaded toward the middle, but still on the shortstop side of second. So the Rays with an opportunity to add to the lead. Cut the miss. Tough pitch by Wilson, running away from Pena. Here it is, just sliding out there.
Yep. That ball, especially when you sweep it like that, coming left on left. That ball comes out of the hand, and to Carlos Pena, that looks like it's coming in the inner half, and it just starts going, and you follow it right out there.
Goes. The pitch is wide, and into second base goes Zobrist. Ben will get a stolen base. And it's second and third now with 2 outs. And a 1-2 count on Pena. pitch this one as it sweeps wide. 2-2. Wilson with 114 pitches right now. Made 112 his last time out. That was his high mark until this game. 2-2 to Pena. And strike 3 call. He got him looking on a fastball. That retires the side. 11 strikeouts for Wilson. Rays leave 2 men on base. We're through 7. It's 2-1 Tampa Bay. Inspired performance by Marathon Petroleum, fueling the American spirit, and by your local Southern Ford dealers. We're at Tropicana Field tonight. Middle game of the series, the Rays and the Angels. Great to have you looking in. Joel Peralta will come on to pitch the 8th inning. Wade Davis pitched 1 inning, and now it's Peralta.
Joel on for the 10th time. Continues to whittle down that ERA. 5 2/3 innings. On the ball much better of late.
He faces the top of the order, Bobby Abreu. Howie Kendrick will follow, and then Pujols. First pitch is wide. Hellickson pitched 6, gave up a run on the solo home run by Vernon Wells. Wade Davis pitched 1 inning, gave up 1 hit, picked up a strikeout. Foul ball back. 1-1.
Well, that's the one difference that you see in Joel Peralta right now that you didn't see the first few outings of the season is he's throwing the ball with confidence. He's going on that fastball away, and he's throwing it out there like he knows he's going to get it to that spot, as opposed to hoping he gets it to that spot. All the difference in the world.
The 1-1. Pitches down 2-1. Well, you're not always going to have your good stuff when you enter the game, and that's true of guys who come out of the bullpen. But I'll say this about Peralta: even when he doesn't, he pitches like he does.
Oh, he's an aggressive back end of the bullpen guy. Those guys tend to have the same kind of mindset. They know that they're only going to be out there for a very short period of time, so they come out in attack mode right now.
2-1. It's high. 3 balls and a strike. Abreu 2 out of 5 lifetime with a home run against Peralta. Peralta's behind him 3-1. Trying to coax the walk from Marty Foster, who would have none of it.
No question about this pitch. Right down the middle. I don't know why you're trying to coax a walk out of that. Take a swing.
Full count on Abreu. Get the leadoff man in a 1-run game. 3-2. Pop fly toward the line and left. Jennings digging hard into foul territory is there. But Desmond Jennings handles the pop foul. Hit by Abreu. 1 away.
Experience the excitement at Tropicana Field with Rays season tickets and enjoy exclusive benefits, including the best seats, biggest savings, and postseason privileges. The variety of plans available and special payment options. You can be a part of the team today. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com.
Here's Howie Kendrick. And he bunts out in front of the plate. Jimenez quickly out, makes a nice play. On the bunt attempt, Jimenez to Pena.
Now, the off-speed pitch is what deadened that ball. Kendrick going out there trying to make something happen, but he had to follow that off-speed pitch down. Not able to get anything on this bunt. It just deadens itself. Becomes an easy play for Jimenez.
Now, Kendrick was trying to bunt his way on ahead of Pujols. Albert Pujols 0 for 3 tonight. He is 3 of 7 lifetime against Peralta with a home run. The Rays put the shift on. Pujols 0 for 19 right now. And the pitch is down. A fastball, 1 ball, no strikes. There are the career numbers for Pujols against Peralta. Takes it again. Low. 2 balls, no strikes. Pujols did not have a good night against Hellickson. Worked him in until the 6th inning when he set him up with a pitch in and then struck him out looking on a curveball. Now Peralta behind 2-0 in this count. And ball 3. Slow. Morales on deck. A 3-0 count. First 2 men have been retired. Pujols draws the walk on a pitch low.
Visit MLB.com/fan guide for a chance to win a VIP experience for 2 this year at the MLB World Series game presented by Scotch, the official lawn care company of MLB.
Rays talk it over on the mound before Kendry Morales, the switch hitting designated hitter, prepares to step in. Morales takes the pitch, and that's a strike. Morales tonight, 2 ground ball outs and a walk, and 1 for 2 lifetime against Peralta. That was a home run. Morales suffered that broken ankle, the left ankle. Foul right back off the base of the stands. 0-2. Morales injured that left ankle at the end of May in 2010, and now just back. A 2-strike count. And a foul ball as he stays alive. In fact, when he got hurt, he was leading the Angels across the board in their first 50-some games. He was leading the team in average, home runs, RBIs, total bases. 0-2 count on it. Into the dirt, blocked by Jimenez. A ball and 2 strikes.
An 0-2 count there too. That was a really nice block by Jimenez because that ball was way out in front of the plate. A lot of room for it. Covers it up nicely, smothers that ball, pops it down. You know, you talk about that chest kind of leaning out a little bit, leaning forward.
Textbook effort by Jimenez right there.
That keeps a runner from moving up into scoring position.
One ball, 2 strikes. Stairs. Peralta, a little something extra, misses high. And so the count is 2-2. Really like to decide it right here.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Because with the full count, Albert Pujols obviously be going on the pitch. You get a full head of steam, and any kind of ball that forces an outfielder to move laterally, they got a chance to score him. Make something happen here.
2-2, and it's a bit high. Morales laid off, and the count is now 3-2.
Well, he just didn't give himself enough of a chance here with the split. This ball was a ball out of the hand, stayed out there.
So now 3-2. Pujols will get a running start with the pitch. This game was a 2-0 game after 3. 2-1 in the 4th. It's 2-1 in the 8th. Pujols walked with 2 outs. Morales all the way to 3-2, and Peralta's pitch about to be made. On its way, runner breaks, and a swing and a miss. He strikes him out with that split to retire the side. All the way to 3-2. A man left. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning with the Rays leading the Angels. It's a 2-1 ball game.
probably the only like highlighted thing in this guy.
If he drops down, it's cutter, backdoor only.
Only
Lefties.
That'd be perfect. You have a ball moving this way, and ball moving that way from down here. Right. You might just start pitching from down there. Kind of hard to throw a curveball.
No curveballs. That's Tommy John.
A lot of fans commenting on the comedy team of Price and Shields. You will hear all of that in our Sounds of the Game in our post-game show. Guys, final question here. Jerry wants to know about moving hitters' feet. You talked about it earlier this year, and it seemed to pay off in an at-bat today with Hellickson facing Pujols. Back to you.
All right, Evan Longoria leads off against Jason Isringhausen. 1-0 the count. Isringhausen in relief of Wilson. 2-0. Well, the basic idea, moving hitters' feet, it's the same way that you might throw a pitch up and in a little bit, just so that they're not overly comfortable up there. And a pitcher is just trying to keep a hitter honest. He's not trying to hit a guy. The last thing he wants to do in most cases is put a guy on base. But he does want to make him a little uncomfortable if he can. And so that's what that's all about. There's ball 4. Longoria walks on 4 straight pitches to start the bottom of the 8th. Braves would certainly like to get some insurance to carry into the 9th inning. We saw that happen up in Toronto when finally David Price moved the feet of Jose Bautista with a pitch.
Saw that in that series against Minnesota, where that first pitch by Jeff Neiman was way up and in off the plate to Danny Valencia, and then proceeded to go away, 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 and Danny Valencia just waving at those pitches, wanted no part of going out over the plate.
Elliott Johnson putting down a bunt. Esteuras with a barehanded pickup throw. Close at first. Boy, Johnson hustling down the line. He advances Longoria, and Johnson thought he had a base hit there on the bunt.
Well, I'll tell you what, from up here in fast motion, it really looked like he got there a perfect bunt, and he was flying up that line.
Boy, he had a base hit.
Well, yeah, and this one, I think, there it is. Oh, yeah.
He clearly had a base hit. Longoria at second. Here's BJ. The pitch is a strike. He's trying to turn the leadoff walk into a run. A couple of opportunities. BJ, a little piece of it, and fouls it. 2 strikes the count. Upton facing Isringhausen for the first time ever. Turn, nothing doing. Longoria back in. Luke Scott's on deck. 2 strikes the count to BJ. High breaking ball that stayed upstairs. A little bit more of a rolling action.
Well, he threw a good one the previous pitch that BJ fouled off. He tried to come back with a better one. So many times with the breaking ball, the harder you try with it, nastier that you try and make it, that ball just does not come out the same way, and it tends to roll.
1-2, and he strikes him out. 2 gone. Fastball in the upper 80s.
Yeah, this ball up above the zone. It looked like it had a little cut to it. Keeps it right above the bat of BJ Upton.
Well, it's up to Luke Scott if the Rays now are to convert the walk. Well, they're going to walk him intentionally with Sean Rodriguez due next. So they'll take the bat out of Scott's hands by walking him. Rodriguez is due. See what the Rays are going to do. Matt Joyce is on the bench, and he's just emerged from the dugout. Scott is given the intentional walk here by Isringhausen. It's 2-1, and the Rays are trying to get another run. Ball 4, and down to first goes Scott. Rays Live postgame is presented by Checkers, and it comes your way immediately following our coverage. Todd Callis and Orestes Destrada anchor the postgame from center field. Joe Madden's press conference involved. Interviews from the clubhouse. Postgame analysis from the booth. Right now it's a 2-1 game, and Mike Butcher, the pitching coach, doing a little analysis of his own out there on the mound.
You got to come out there, a big part of the game, obviously. You don't want to see the Rays extend this lead, so Mike Butcher's going to go out there and make sure, hey, Matt Joyce hasn't been in the game. This is the game plan, the scouting report. Let's make sure everybody's on the same page before we go to attack here with 2 outs in the 8th.
Here is Matt. Joyce was 1 for 3 last night at a base hit his first time up against Urban Santana. And he faces Isringhausen here in the 8th. Way wide. 1 ball, no strikes. He tried to start him with a curveball and missed there with it. Brings that one in. Started a little bit wide. Cut it over. It's 1-1. Well, the Rays are trying to get another run to take into the 9th inning. Texas has scored a run in the 6th at home. They lead the Yankees 6-2. Two balls and a strike. Baltimore beat Toronto 3-0. Jason Hamill pitched 7 innings of that game. Gave up just 4 hits against the win. 2-1. And a strike at the knees, says Marty Foster.
Jason Isringhausen is not going to give Matt Joyce anything on the inner half. You see where all the pitchers are. The 2 curveballs that he missed badly, the 2 cutters that were just off and he got the calls on.
2-2. Breaking ball and a broken bat, foul ball. So a new bat to Matt Joyce, a new baseball to Jason Isringhausen. With the count square at 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that Baltimore win over Toronto. Hamill's now 3-0. Drabek, the losing pitcher, he's 2-1. A 2-2, and it's full. Stayed away from him. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Jimenez is on deck. third. The intentional walk. Scott moves into second as Matt Joyce draws the walk on a pinch hitter appearance. And now Jimenez will be lifted. Bases are loaded with 2 outs. Brandon Allen will pinch hit and make his Rays debut. Was picked up when Oakland let him go, and he has big time power.
How about this opportunity for Brandon Allen coming in here? 2 outs, bottom of the 8th of a 2-1 game.
So Allen steps in a big spot here. He's out of Conroe, Texas. Out of Montgomery High School in Montgomery, Texas, and the pitch to him is low. He takes a breaking ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Longoria at third, Scott at second, Joyce at first. They're loaded. Allen takes a big cut. He misses on the fastball. Now 1-1.
Just a power fastball. Outer third gets the swing and a miss. You know, so many times you'll see Joe Madden push the right buttons in situations like this. This would be huge.
Good look at a pitch wide. 2 balls and a strike. Well, the pressure is really on Isringhausen right here for Allen. He took that ball 2 outside. That was a good take. The 2-1. Ball 3, it pops away, but not far enough to give Longoria a chance. So the count is 3 balls and a strike.
Isringhausen has yanked a couple of those fastballs across the plate. This one almost cost him a run. Iannetta having to go all the way across the body.
So it's 3 balls and a strike. And the pitch. Swings and fouls it back. Yeah, it's really a tough spot for Allen because he was put on waivers. So it's been quite a while since he's seen live pitching in competition. He had a great spring this year for Oakland. He had a lot of RBIs. He hit for a good average and a couple of home runs. He drove in 14 runs in 14 games in the spring, hit over 300. A 3-2 count right now. And he takes ball 4, and a good at bat to take that pitch to force home a run, and the Rays do make it a 3-1 game, and they convert the leadoff walk into a run with a bases loaded walk. Longoria crosses the plate.
Here it is, full count. You're up there, you want to swing the bat. You're right, Dwayne. Good take there by Brandon Allen. That ball just off the plate. Good call, good take. Rays get a little breathing room.
Now we go to Desmond Jennings. Jennings swings, and it's a fly ball to left. Abreu is going to make the catch, and that retires the side. But the Rays pick up a run. 3-1 after 8.
of the Tampa Bay Rays and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Tampa Bay Rays.
Now the Rays tack on a run in the bottom of the 8th. We head to the top of the 9th. They're up 3-1 over the Angels. Well, welcome back Carlos Pena on Friday, May 4th, when the Rays host the A's as part of Friday Fest presented by Captain Morgan. The first 10,000 women will receive a Carlos Pena custom t-shirt presented by the Tampa Bay Times. Visit RaysBaseball.com for your tickets.
Changes for the Rays now with Jimenez lifted. Jose Molina takes over behind the plate. There's some other defensive shifts with Molina catching. Ben Zobrist comes in from right field to play second base, with Elliott Johnson moving from second base to shortstop. And Matt Joyce stays on to play right field. And the Rays have a new pitcher. Fernando Rodney will come on, trying to close this one.
For the early part of 2012, Fernando Rodney has been nothing short of spectacular. He is 10th game, 5 out of 5 in the saves, strikeout an inning, opponent's average under 100.
And Torrey Hunter takes a fastball at 94 to start the inning. Hunter 1 for 3 tonight. And the changeup has him out in front. Boy, he couldn't wait to swing at that pitch.
I mean, it's so tantalizing. You see that four-seam spin. When we talk about arm speed and good action on the pitch, but Fernando Rodney has that added bonus of the difference in miles per hour. He could get it up there 15, 16 miles difference.
Outside with a fastball at 97.
Oh, there you go. The previous pitch was a changeup at 81. And then a pitch that looks just like it that jumps up on you at 16 miles an hour harder. That is difficult.
And a base hit lined the other way off a fastball. That one at 95, and Hunter is aboard. Rodney here in the closing role. You can see with the Tigers, well, there were times when he was just untouchable with the Tigers, and he struggled with the Angels. Just frustrated out there. And now 9 games for the Rays, 5 saves and a win. And he faces Vernon Wells. Pitch is a strike. Strikes him with a fastball. Wells with a single and a home run tonight. He homered in the 4th inning. His 4th home run of the year. A little close there. Hit a 3-2 pitch down on Pellickson.
And watch the awkward swing. This ball well located too, and just a flat-footed swing that Vernon Wells wishes he had back.
Wells 2 for 4 lifetime against Rodney. Rodney's walked him 4 times in matchups. A little tap. Not hit hard, picked up by Johnson, throw to first, got him. Very close play over there. And into second base goes Hunter. That was close.
Yeah, well, a chopper. Wasn't hit hard. Vernon Wells is hustling. Evan Longoria kind of slid in front of Elliott Johnson, almost like a screen. Elliott, he picked that thing up like he wasn't expecting to be the guy to field it. And this was really close.
Wells thought he was safe. So did their first base coach, Alfredo Griffin, over there. We've had a couple of very close calls here in the last inning or two at first base. Johnson thought he was safe. Wells thought he was safe. Here's Asturias now to bat with a man at second and one out. Down and in. Ball and no strikes. Ball two. Hellickson for 6, Davis for 1, Peralta for 1, and now Fernando Rodney. Asturias doubled up the right side in the 7th inning. That was against Davis. And there's ball 3, a fastball upstairs. Single to right on a fastball. A 95-mile-per-hour fastball. Moved to second on the close play at first on the chopper hit by Wells. 3-0 the count. There's a strike. 3-1. Seattle beat Detroit 9-1. Kansas City snapped a 12-game losing streak, defeating Cleveland 8-2. And that's a strike. He threw him a 3-1 change right there for strike 2 call.
Boy, this is nasty. Right down in that bottom corner. Well, if you're Asturias, what are you thinking now? 3-1 changeup. You got to cover 97 to 80.
3-2 and a foul ball. Fastball. He got the bat out there to foul it and stay alive. Rays have been out hit 7-6. They lead 3-1. Hunter's at second with 1 out and a full count on Asturias. And a ground ball by the mound to second. It's Zobrist making the throw to first. 2 outs as Hunter goes to third.
Boy, nice comeback there by Fernando Rodney. Falling down 3-0, coming with a 3-1 changeup, and then able to get the ground out.
Well, Larry Kaibar is going to be the hitter. He's officially 0 for 2, reached on catcher's interference in the 2nd inning. Since then, he's grounded out to first and to short. Rodney tries to close it out. The pitch is a strike. Rays after their 11th win of the year. And the pitch. Ground ball by the mound to second. Bobbled there by Zobrist, and he cannot find a handle on it. The run scores. That'll make it a 3-2 ball game. Ibar reaches on Zobrist's error. The run crosses the plate. And there's one more out to get.
One of those ground balls that almost right here on the backhand by Ben Zobrist. Ball just off the heel of the glove, and then right there in his haste to try to barehand that and make the play, just doesn't do it. You try to set your body up to make that easy play and make the throw, and that ball kind of handcuffed Ben.
The line that is going to be lifted for the pinch hitter. That error on Zobrist, his first of the year, and Alberto Callaspo will pinch hit in a 3-2 game now. He lifts a fly ball toward the line and left. Jennings on the run, and the Rays win it. Rays are 3-2 winners, taking the first 2 games of this series. They go to 11-7. Hellickson will get the win, his third, and a save. Rodney picks up save number 6. He gave up 1 unearned run in the 9th inning. And the Rays win this one 3-2 after winning here last night 5-0. And the Rays go to 7-1 at home. They celebrate the victory just as we promised earlier in the game. It's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Vin Zobrist connected to get the Rays on the board in the 3rd inning when he hit his 3rd home run of the year, connecting against C.J. Wilson. The Rays scored 2 in that inning. They added another run in the 8th inning, and they win it 3-2. Took 3 hours and 10 minutes to play this game before 14,638. Hellickson 3-0. Wilson, C.J. Wilson, the losing pitcher, his record stands at 2-2. So the Rays take the first 2 games of this series. Right now, let's go to the field and Todd Callis.
Oh, and what did you see tonight out of him where he was a little more successful than, got through 6 innings?
He kind of had to battle tonight.
Yeah.
We threw a lot of change-ups. Obviously that's one of his better pitches. And, thankfully he was just able to keep the ball down, and we got some key outs when we needed to from him.
When you were going through that, you got that catcher's interference call against you. What did they tell you? Did they hear it?
That's what he said. He said it heard it. He heard 2 different distinct sounds. And, I didn't think that it hit my glove. I haven't seen the replay or anything, but he said he heard 2 distinct sounds and that it definitely hit it. So
here's a replay. Tell us if you see anything. Hard to tell, right? Would you normally be able to feel that?
Yeah, that's the one thing I told him. That's what I was saying the whole time was, hey, honest to goodness, I never felt that hit my glove. I'd tell you if it really did,
right.
But I really didn't feel it hit my glove.
Defensively, great night tonight. Throwing down a couple of runners. That's just so big in a 2-1 game, which turned into a 3-2 game. You have to feel good about the way you were throwing the ball.
Yeah, we've been working on that the last couple of days. I felt like my throwing's kind of been a little off lately, and thankfully, kind of coming into it, I think I figured some things out, and I figured if you can't do anything at the plate, you might as well do something defensively. So.
Well, there you see another play where the ball was butted right in front. You got out on that and it hurt.
Yeah, that's one of those plays right there. You just got to try to make sure you get a grip on the ball and make a good throw to first. And that's a big play in the game right there, too. We get an out right there. Or we don't get an out. That's a different situation, a different ball game. And, thankfully, we were just able to make some plays tonight.
When you were working on the throws, you said with the coaching staff before the game, were you working on the release? What were you working on?
Really, for me, I'm a big proponent. I have to catch the ball before I do anything. I can't try to go get the ball at all, and that's what I was trying to do the last couple of days. And I feel like that's one of the best parts of my game is I've really kind of worked hard to try to make sure that I can, just be consistent with it, and that's the biggest point. And it was just that little adjustment that I felt like tonight my ball had some good carry on it, and luckily I was able to make a couple good throws.
Final thing that we'll let you go with the guys that came out of the bullpen tonight before you left the game. Wade Davis, Joel Peralta. These are guys that are starting to get in their rhythm.
Definitely. The bullpen stepped up huge today. Peralta, Davis, even Rodney out there. That extra run right there was big for us, and that's Ray ball. That's the way we do things. But, the bullpen's starting to come around. The starting pitch is starting to come around, and I feel like we're starting to kind of really get into a good stride.
Prove tonight you don't have to do much at the plate when you can contribute defensively like you did.
Right.
Thanks.
You never stay out of the ball game any way you can.
Nice job tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Chris Jimenez, guys, back to you.
All right, Todd, thank you very much. Jimenez a nice job behind the plate. Rays are winners 3-2. We'll be back in a moment.